Next up, tonight at Live, Benzinga is renting out the space, 8 p.m. You all are invited. Get tickets on our site. We will have a special guest. Check out the site. It's going to be fantastic. 8 p.m. tonight. Little schedule change. Mike Tyson will be joining us there as opposed to this panel. But that being said, Kevin Irwin, get up here. I have 3 panelists that I'm going to introduce, but there is one that I am not qualified to introduce, and I'm going to turn it over to him. We have Jason Rasnick, the CEO of Benzinga. He is the reason for the season. This is why we're here. Thank you, Jason. We have Adam Wilks, CEO of Tyson 2.0, and we have Chad Bronstein, co-founder and chairman of Tyson 2.0. And Kevin, tell us, man.
Listen, let's hear it for Elliot Lane. Let's hear it for Elliot. Listen, we have 3 incredible gentlemen already seated, but there's one seat that's missing. It's not even a chair. It's more like a throne. We have one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time about to join us on the stage. I can only be talking about one man. I'm talking about a man that has spent more liquor, more money on spilled champagne from one bar on this side of the world to the other. I'm talking about the Rolex wearing, woo! Diamond ring wearing, woo! Kid stealing, woo! Wheeling, dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun. And he's having a hard time keeping those alligators down. Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference. Make some noise for the one and only Nature Boy Ric Flair. Woo! Woo!
Nature Boy.
On the count of 3, let's hit him with a woo. 1, 2, 3.
Woo! How was that, Rick, for an entrance?
Fantastic.
Kevin, that was like, is the mic good? Is the mic good?
Oh, I don't think so.
Is it on? Let's go. Mic louder. Rick's mic louder. We need.
Hello. It was great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, let's get those speakers louder. Yeah, but that was a serious entrance, Kevin. Do you work on that? He's gone. All right, Kevin's gone. But Ric Flair, guys, you got Ric Flair here. I just got to say one story. Last night we're in the bar, just hanging out, having a drink or two, not many. And this guy, you don't know the things behind the scenes. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Are you going to get mad at me? Okay. So I just walk in this place because and he's there, and he goes to pay the bill. The drinks may have cost $50, $60. You know what he paid for that bill? What do you guys think? Nope. 1,100 or 1,200. Gave them $1,000 tip to these 2 ladies who one of the waitresses almost fell down past the bar. And you writers over there, you could write that article. Yeah, he gave $1,000 tip to stay half an hour after.
And call my tax attorney too, will you?
Yeah, clap for that. And by the way, me trying to be a mensch, I tried to pay the bill. And Rick goes, no, you don't want to pay the bill the way I'm paying it. He was right. He was right.
Well,
I mean,
they were nice enough to keep the place open for another hour. There's more to it than that.
But that's the kind of person he is. I know this interview is not about that, and we'll get to why we're here. But I think it's good to know the person behind who's here today. And you guys have known him for many years. But we got Chad. We got Tyson 2.0 right here. And I don't know how we want to start this. Tyson 2.0. We got the Wilks man who's like making this shit happen. Mike Bites. What's Tyson 2.0? Where can we get Mike Bites? And then we're going to get to Ric Flair and do the other thing. But let's start right there with Mike Bites.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you having us here today. So Tyson 2.0, we've actually executed across 18 states, currently available in 6 states right now, 6 more states coming online in the next 30 days, and executing the rest over the year. We do have Florida, actually, home to a lot of the people here, coming online later this year as well as New York will be adding in. We've got a whole line.
So you're going to be in 6 states.
We're
now.
in 6 right now. We have 6 more coming online in the next 30.
Do you have any? Are you in Michigan yet?
Michigan, we did. We launched that the last week of March. Actually.
We're doing a big event on Saturday in Michigan.
Yep.
Where's the big event? Lansing?
That's correct. We're doing a meet and greet at the Common Citizen store in Lansing, and then we have a big event at a concert.
If you want a Common Citizen store in Lansing, Michigan, and then I think tonight at Live at
Yeah, my microphone. But tonight we're at Live at 8 o'clock. We're doing another panel with Mike and Rick. So Mike's going to be there at 8 o'clock tonight.
Iron Mike. Okay. And so how did Tyson 2.0 come about?
So Tyson came about 2.0 is when I was working with Mike. We talked about this yesterday, but at Wisana, we brought him up and he asked me to help out and look at his cannabis brand. And so we did, and we realized that we wanted to start something new. And we had to do it with a partner such as Columbia Care. But Adam and I, we met. He was an investor of Philo, and he was also our client. He was the CEO of One Plant. And so I called him, and I called Aristotle, and I brought, I'd say we're like a tripod in this. And we came out, and Adam stepped down and became the CEO, and we went fast. So we started this business in December, and we've grown astronomically over the past 4 months. And then Rick and me were neighbors in Tampa. And like you said earlier, he's the nicest guy there is. He always goes around, he's talking to everybody. And I'm a big Ric Flair fan. I'm going to be honest here.
I mean, I walked with Ric Flair from one part of the hotel to the other. I am not kidding. From the staff, custodians to everyone, they stop in awe, and Rick doesn't mince a beat. He's just absolutely take a photo. I honestly, and I've been around famous people, I have not seen a nicer person than this guy. Ego, no ego, like the opposite. I like, honestly, I'm not just doing it to kiss his ass. I'm telling you the truth. Like Chad, you're nice. This guy takes it to another level.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'd say
And
what we've learned in cannabis, and Adam and I would agree, is like nostalgia. Rick's nostalgic, and he knows it. Like, my son is 6 years old, knows who Rick is, and his daughter Charlotte, and someone that's 90 years old would know who Rick is. And everyone has memories with Rick. And I think in the cannabis world, it's all about emotion and feeling and nostalgia. And that's why, when Rick and I talk, but go ahead. Rick,
Rick, but that goes right to your life. Tell us about being a wrestler and in like injuries and how cannabis affects your life, or tell us whatever you want because you're the man.
It just recently.
Put it closer to the microphone.
It has just recently affected my life. Of course, I've been around it my whole life. I never did smoke marijuana, but now with these other products and the wellness aspect and the calming effect that they have on you, I mean, I'm 100% sold, and I'm just honored that Chad and Adam asked me to come on board with them, and looking forward to launching my own line. But I swear, as a guy that has been rode hard and putting up wet, does that make sense? Like 365 times a year, times twice on Saturday and Sunday. We just live on the edge for years. And now, if this stuff had been available years ago, I can imagine the number of people it would have helped, without taking the other drugs that people take to sleep and relax with. So I'm on board 100%. And for myself personally, as someone that was a little bit afraid of everything like that, only because I was raised by a medical family, I'm 100% on board with everything. The wellness aspect, it helps guys with the injuries. I'm relatively injury free. I've been through a lot, but I lived through it all. But sleeping at night, having peace of mind, and knowing that the wellness aspect is available to me, readily, is tremendous. And I'm really going to help advocate for this. For people to use it all over, because it's so helpful and calming. And it is, like Chad said, it just changes your personality. You can just go from being high strung to just calm, be normal, relax, watch ESPN, just do something normal, which I've never been able to do my whole life because I just have been moving so fast. But since my introduction to these guys, I've learned a world about it, and I'm just honored to be here and be part of it.
And you guys, like you in the audience, you watching virtually right now, I don't think people get this about the cannabis space. Like if you look at the stock prices, I'm a big investor in the stock prices because, looking for opportunities. What he's talking about is real. And when people start, like my mom uses some cannabis thing for her back, and it changed her life. She had all these fusions, nothing improved it. Yeah. Cannabis did. And that what you're talking about is, I mean, do they even allow it in WWE at this point?
No, but the kids pay, the athletes pay fines repeatedly because it is necessary, and it is a healthier way to fall asleep at night, to take the edge off.
Yeah.
I mean, when you work a 12-hour day and they get the TV at noon, and if you're in the main event on Raw, you're not out of the building until midnight. So it's a long day, and to be able to go relax, the drinking is not. There's more awareness now to health, as opposed to my day and time when we drank all night, try to fall asleep at 3 o'clock. Now the kids are more attuned to the wellness and the health, and of course the cosmetic look that you can avoid by using these kind of products as opposed to drinking all night. So it's great, and I think, in other words, if the WWE didn't like it, they would shut it down. But I think they realize that it's good. It's a calming effect.
It's going to get legal. And like Adam, I guess this goes to you a little bit. Your mic bites are sold out like everywhere. I assume when Ric Flair's products start,
the Woo Chews, forget about the mic bites.
So Tyson 2.0, we're really excited to announce
Mic bites, Woo Chews.
they're going to sell out
the new Ric Flair line, which is called Ric Flair Drip.
Yeah.
First product are actually called the Woo Chews.
Yeah.
Similar to the mic bites, some fun shaped edibles, which will be dropping.
Let's go. Do we have any here?
Available
We don't
everywhere.
have any here. We'll be dropping them in Q2 this year.
Rick, I'm ready to take one right now. We have really a fire alarm? Wonderful. I think it's a false alarm. I think we're okay, but Nicole Lapointe, can you technical difficulties solved for this beautiful fake fire alarm? The Nelt boys are here. Are they doing a prank on us?
Could be. So to add to the Ric Flair Drip line, we do have the Woo Chews coming out. We also have the Ric Flair Drip 2-gram blunt, which will be infused with live resin to go with the Ric Flair Drip line. We have vapes, we got flour, and then a solventless live rosin we'll be doing as well.
Okay. What's up, Elliot? Yeah. Okay. All right. It's a false alarm. So when will the Ric Flair line be ready?
So the blunts and the edibles, again, will be available in Q2 in California and Nevada. There are another 4 states.
So we're gonna launch in Michigan
as well.
and in Illinois. So it's coming about. I mean, we're working with a couple different MSOs on this, and we're pretty excited, especially on the Woo Chews. And then Rick, one thing to know about Rick that's really interesting is he trademarked everything he's ever said. So when that announcement was there, limousine riding, jet setting, etc., he trademarked it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when I first met with him, I'm like, Rick, you're a marketing whiz. Like, you're a wordsmith. And so he said, Chad, I trademarked everything I've ever said. He trademarked Woo with 5 O's. And so all of our lines will be built off of different feelings you get. Limousine riding, it's an emotion. That's how we're developing the line.
Will it be a limousine shaped?
Yes, there's a lot of fun shaped edibles. We haven't announced yet, but there's a lot of fun shaped edibles on the way.
Rick, you know what you're doing. You got with these right guys. Like I don't know how you.
I'm rolling with. I told these guys this morning, and I've hung out with a lot of people that had a lot of fun, and I think I've traveled with presidents. I've been to the White House. I've partied with Mick Jagger, but man, hanging with these two dudes, it's a whole different world. Hey, I can only imagine how many edibles they took last night to be here today. When I go to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning, these dudes can roll, man. I love it.
Well, you guys, Ric Flair.
I've never met so many millionaires under the age of 40 in my life. It's amazing. Well, my hat's off to all of you.
Well, how about Rick? Rick, how about your Rolodex? I talked about this Chad Bronstein 6 degrees of Chad. Your Rolodex, literally, I mean, if someone looks at your phone, the names that we were talking about, I mean, do you just know everyone? Like,
everybody.
I mean, every single person, literally.
Whose number do you want?
So for
Charles Barkley, Rick Ross.
Rick Ross, we have Rick Ross night at 8 o'clock.
Ricky Ross.
Yeah, we have Tyson at 8 o'clock. Rick Ross after. This guy's in 5 of his songs. I mean, literally. And
have you ever heard of the Ric Flair Drip?
Well, I've heard about it here.
Yeah, why we call it the Ric Flair Drip is he has a song called the Ric Flair Drip. It has 500 million views on YouTube. It was with Offset.
With Amigos. Well, as Offset and Metro Boomin,
Yeah, and I'm the idiot when I'm like, we're having Rick Ross at our thing. Do you know who that is, Ric Flair? It's like, what the fuck's wrong with you, Jason?
I think something that people don't know about Rick is like Rick set the stage, and Mike would say this. We did a hotboxing with Rick, and we had Sebastian, who just won the Super Bowl for the Rams, and Mike, and Rick set the stage as a culture icon for many. Like it was, a lot of people followed his style. Do you want to talk about some of the people, even in the evil?
Snoop said I was bling before bling was bling. I'll take it. So.
And Killer Mike.
I've been lucky enough to meet so many people over the years, Killer Mike included.
No, but like Jim Harbaugh at 1 a.m. 1 a.m. I FaceTimed Jim Harbaugh. It's his boy. Like Jim Harbaugh's the Michigan coach. You guys know who that guy is? Isaiah Thomas writes me this thing back immediately. But those are just the names that I knew. Like, I don't even know. If you could, it's what I'm saying to you is this whole event that you're at, it's the network.
My partner, Kelly, could beat Isaiah one-on-one. Right, Kel? You showed us Clyde Drexler the other day.
Yeah, I believe it. So my point is the network. Meet people you don't know here because you don't know what happens. Like they want to meet and do business. And you're watching virtually, connect with the people that are here because the network is so powerful. So Adam, I want to go back to Tyson 2.0. You have a show that you have in the works potentially.
Yeah,
are you allowed to say it?
Absolutely. So we just launched a show called Strain Reviews with Mike Tyson, and it's Mike, myself, and a different celebrity getting stoned, reviewing our product line and our partnered products, including Ric Flair Drip and some additional names that haven't been press released yet. But so we've had people on like Be Real, Wiz Khalifa, we recorded. We have Snoop lined up, Seth Rogen we're working on. We got Cheech and Chong next week. So yeah, we got a lot of new and exciting celebrities to come and review our product with Mike and myself. So really excited about that. We actually partnered with the Nelk Boys, John Shahidi, who sits
Where
on
is
our
John
board.
Shahidi? Is he here?
Couldn't make it today, but he sits on our board, one of our partners, and we partnered with the Nelk Boys on the podcast to help us take it to another level.
Yeah, you guys, if you ever hear Steve Will Do It or Steve Will Do It is like following in Rick Ross's footsteps. This guy's spitting out money like, giving tips. Steve Will Do It goes online and gives tips. So that's the next phase, Tyson 2.0, and then other products.
Yeah, there's a couple episodes available on YouTube right now. Episode.
What's like the episode called? How do
Strain
I find
Reviews with Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Strain
All
Reviews,
right.
yeah.
Now, Chad, what's next? New products, growth, Tyson 2.0 or Philo and I don't know. What I didn't ask a ton about Philo to you right now. I know we did it yesterday, but some people missed it. Like I know Ian Bernstein's here. That's very exciting, right? And he's a proud investor in Philo. So what's exciting? I know you're gonna go to different verticals and.
Yeah, Philo is we're excited about jumping into other highly regulated industries such as crypto. We talked about yesterday. But we're excited to work, learn and work with brands like Tyson and other brands. For us, we've learned a lot in space. And so when we drop Tyson 2.0, we work with a lot of brands and MSOs. So we understood what to do. And so there's a lot to be excited about both companies, right? And I think with Tyson, we will be looking at bringing on other celebrities that we think are proper IP to what we're trying to accomplish as a licensing and brand house.
Okay. And I have time for 2 more questions. I know the clock says 14 minutes, but they keep waving at me over there. Oh, what'd you say? Yeah. So audience, does anyone want to ask Rick a question? If you do, come up to the left side and you can ask Rick a question. Is that what you're saying, Chad? Yeah. Anyone want to ask Rick a question? Kevin, don't be nervous. Anyone has a question? Elliot, Javier, you want Rick a question? Just come up. Oh, I see someone. Go ahead. Go up to Elliot. There we go. First one. Here we go. I'm sorry about the fire alarm, guys. I didn't plan for that, but guess what? We get a discount on the venue now. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Hot.
Elliot, put the mic on. Yep. Okay. Here we go.
Hot.
Yep.
Rick, the last time I was this close to you. The last time I was this close to you was in Charlottesville, Virginia.
And where?
Charlottesville, Virginia.
Yes.
You had just wrapped up a night at University Hall, and I was a 18-year-old, and we were both buying beer. So this is the question. If Ric Flair, after a wrestling match in 1979, was picking up beer at a convenience store, what was the brand? What brand?
In 1979, Miller. I got a beer for every decade, and a liquor too.
So who were the Schlitz malt liquor tall boys for? The Bull.
Well, Schlitz was made in Milwaukee.
There we go.
I was drinking that in high school.
There we go. All right. So I'm new to this cannabis business. I started January 19th. And so I'm wrapping up my first 30, 60, 90-day onboarding program. And I really understand what you're talking about as far as this conviction's concerned. We're going to be helping cannabis companies really get cannabis people paid fairly. Because I've discovered in these first 30, 60, 90 days that it's nowhere near close being fair or even equitable. And so I'm interested in hearing a little bit more about the people that you've done business with, the people that you brought onto your teams, and what you think is important in those regards. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Well, actually, the only people I'm right now with Chad, Adam, and Aristotle, their partner. But I'm coming in under Mike's brand, and just actually at this point, all I can say is I'm just thankful for the opportunity.
What did they do to gain your trust? What did they do to gain your trust, to put your name and your brand behind them?
You want to know the truth?
Yes.
How many people would give you $100,000 in 1 minute if you asked them for it? 1 minute.
So they bought your trust?
No. I'm asking you a question. I'll ask you a question.
Oh, that wouldn't mean
How many friends you got to give you $100,000 in 1 minute?
Oh, that I would? Oh.
Without any collateral. Just your word.
I don't have that. I'm not in a position to answer that question.
You asked me what game I trust.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
That's impressive. That's impressive.
You guys aren't the truth.
No, that's impressive. That was a moment. That's a moment. I don't know if you guys all heard that, but that's a moment.
It's the guys on the truth.
I'm glad you shared that. He didn't ask for anything in return. There's like, we want to work with you. Here's $100,000. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
And
not even a handshake, over the phone.
Rick, that's putting your money where your mouth is. I mean, the only analogy I have to that is some guys started Benzinga unpaid, but this is different. They just gave $100,000. No, I mean, like guys like Luke, who is on,
No, the story goes, we didn't give him $100,000. Rick's our partner. And we have a salary with Tyson 2.0.
I know. We know.
And on top of that, guy, we also when we sat down to discuss, nobody in history has taken a brand in 90 days to 18 states, right?
Yeah, I know.
So that was a big part of the.
But you gave money without for sure.
Yeah, we had, just so to answer that question, we spent almost 3 months talking about this. Yeah. We saw each other every day. And then Rick, we don't want Rick to work for free. We're not people that do that. You're talking about making sure people are getting paid properly. And so I will say that working with Mike and Rick and, representing Juliana Pena, who's now the world champion, is that a lot of celebrities get taken advantage of. And so what we do different is we make sure they don't get fucked. Right. And so that's what we do. So we're ethical and we keep our word and we work with people and we make sure they're taken care of.
That's it.
That's the absolute truth.
And you do as you say.
I can't tell you how many times I've been put in a situation that I thought was real that collapsed, and I actually lost money. This time, I'm ahead of the game before the product's launched.
Yeah, and speaking of that, you were talking about one of the other people you're involved with, but you have 2 daughters. One is in the WWE.
Yeah.
I know you're very proud of your daughters.
Yes.
Yeah, Rick. The first thing he talked about is like, see my daughters, and that's. Again, family man. Javier, I know you had a question. You're in line. Yes. This is Javier. He writes for Benzinga, Forbes, and Entrepreneur Magazine. If you don't know Javier, there you go. Go ahead,
Javier's a legend.
Javier's a legend.
There you go. Appreciate it. Rick, thank you so much for joining us at the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference, 14th edition. And thank you so much for fighting the good fight.
A little louder because the speaker's pointed that way, not at us.
There you go. Thank you for joining us at the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference. And thank you for fighting the good fight. And there's no pun intended there. My question for you is a little bit tough. It's if you could testify in front of Congress, and you got a better crowd here for sure. But if you could testify in front of Congress and explain why you think cannabis should be legal, what would you say?
Why cannabis should be legal?
Why cannabis should be legal?
What would you say?
I'd say because after not believing in it for so many years, because I was naive and didn't take the time to understand the big picture, I just thought of smoking marijuana, right? And I've just learned, in a short period of time, that the little bit of experience I've had in the last 3 months with them, that everything that I've been naive and absolutely closed-minded to is real. They are helpful in so many ways, but especially state of mind. When you run around 100 miles an hour and you do it for 50 years, it'll be 50 years I've been in the business, and I still run like crazy. But now, when I go upstairs and go to bed at night, I'm not eating a Xanax. How about that?
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm eating a Chewy.
All right, we got another person, Javier.
Thank you.
Come
Hello.
up here. There you go. We can hear
Hello,
you.
Rick.
Hey,
A pleasure to meet you, sir. Lifelong fan.
thank you.
Fantastic to be around you, sir. I had a question which I think you answered, which was, obviously being an understanding of the professional wrestling industry, the amount of toil that takes place on people's bodies, the coping mechanisms that come on the road, alcohol, pills, whatever it is, man. Cannabis is a natural alternative to
Yes.
that as pain alleviation. Do you feel that realistically it should be considered acceptable for professional wrestlers to be able to consume cannabis and have that
Yes.
natural pain
Absolutely.
mediation? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Right on. Beautiful. Would
Yeah,
you guys,
I'm sad personally that I was so short-sighted for so many years, just because I just, I'm old school. You don't. It's like hard to teach an old dog new tricks. I wish I had realized this 10 years ago, but I absolutely would recommend it for any athlete that wants to get a good night's sleep. The wellness part of it is huge too. It's not just smoking marijuana. It's all the other things that go along with the cannabis products.
Absolutely. I think it's a beautiful thing you guys are doing. Rick, you're globally renowned. You're beloved, as so many of the other athletes that you guys are working with. Being able to bring the beneficial medicine of cannabis out to people with you as a face for that, it's a beautiful thing. So thank you.
Thank you. And Elliot, before the next question, is there two more questions? We have two. Okay, one more question. Go ahead. Sorry. I know there's a guy behind. I feel bad. You can ask after.
Rick,
Let's
thank you
go
so much
fast.
for being here. Thank you guys all for doing this. I have a real simple question as far as it goes. Just as far as athletics in general, you obviously have experience in WWE, WWF,
A little louder.
WCW,
Athletics, louder.
I can't hear.
athletics as a whole. What would you say the impediment for management of stopping this? Because it's obviously helped so many people like
I
yourself.
can't understand.
What would be the impediment?
stopping this?
What would be the impediment of the WWE allowing this as an alternative?
Why are the WWE or why are athletics allowing cannabis? Why aren't they?
Because it's became such an issue years ago. The WWE has by far, forget about the NFL or Major League Baseball or NBA, the WWE has by far the strictest wellness program in the world.
Wow.
Because they get blamed. If something goes wrong, you're going to blame it on wrestling. You know why? Because they're all jealous of how big it is. Our WrestleMania is equally as big as the Super Bowl. Wow. And the athletes are equally as qualified.
I know that.
That's true on the WrestleMania side. We went with Rick.
Chad came. Huh? No, they get paid a lot, but they deserve it. Yeah, I didn't get paid anything, but.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Great question.
I didn't make money.
One more question, and do it loudly, because the speaker, Elliot, the speaker should be turned more towards us, is what I'm saying is the issue. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello. Okay, great.
Oh, that's good.
Hey, guys, how you doing? Matt Norgren, Arcadian Capital. Been fortunate to be involved with Chad and Adam for a long time as an investor. I think my question is, tell us about the future of the platform, because what you've done with Mike and now Rick, I know there's these plans and aspirations to do all kinds of new products with the platform. So
I'm trying to invest in the company.
are you going to
I'm trying.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So the future for us is, we want to, when we're working with brands, a lot of people are like, oh, you're working, there's all these celebrity brands. When Rick and Mike came in, it's kind of fate in a sense, but they're having two icons like Rick and Mike. Me and Adam go to all these events in Colorado and all these things with Columbia Care, and people come in with pictures with Mike. We haven't done it yet with Rick. And there's always memories that they talk about. They wait in long lines and they bring pictures and say, my grandfather who's passed away, you had an impact on his life. All he talked about is you, Mike Tyson, right? And so the memories and the nostalgia that we talked about earlier, we're looking for other brands that we want to work with to actually be able to bring that to life. And I also think that one thing is like Rick and Mike, and you see Carcillo, we saw not talking in psychedelics on Monday, but they're working proactively like we are to destigmatize and bring their voices to make people understand that this is acceptable. And then even saying, Rick talking about the WBE, is like there has to be a time and place where they're going to allow athletes. You were a professional football player, and so you probably took a lot of hits as well. And I'm sure that's why you're big into cannabis, right? So I think that there's more and more people are going to be open to it. And what we're doing is continue to grow, launch Rick's brand. We've launched Mike's brand successfully, and identify other brands that we think fit our portfolio. And that's where we're headed.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. Are we okay? We are. So listen, this panel here, I just want to say one more thing. The question about paying money or whatever, a lot of people try to get with celebrities. Hey, we're going to create a product. When we make revenue, you'll make revenue. You'll get a cut. You know what I mean? It's like, and guess what happens? They don't get anything. These guys said, okay, we don't want them to work for free. Even when we do the R&D, we're going to still pay them. I haven't heard many stories like that. I hear the other story. And so I think you guys looking at brand partnerships, this is the way to do it. Rick, Adam, Chad, they know what the heck they're doing. And they're sweet. Buy their products. This guy is as good as they get. They're all as good as they get. I'll tell you that. Guarantee, like there's a stuff that there's all as good as they get. If you haven't met them, meet them after. But thank you, Rick, Adam, and Chad for doing this. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.